Okay, so this one is pretty long, but pretty good. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to leave out that last sentence because actually no, I'll read the whole thing. So I've got that. Put that in there. It's spaced weird, so we want to space this out so it's a little bit easier to read. I'm going to keep the sections together. Okay, so that's sectioned out. Let's just read it really quickly. Journaling shouldn't feel like homework. Whisper transforms reflection into a simple conversation. Tap the mic, speak your thoughts, and watch them appear instantly. No typing, no pressure, just you and your voice. Why Whisper works when other journalists don't. Most people start journaling with good intentions but quit when it feels like a chore. Whisper removes the friction. Speaking is faster than typing, more natural than templates, and easier than staring at a blank page. Your morning coffee routine, your commute, your wind down ritual, wherever you are, your journal is ready to listen. Understand yourself through voice. Every entry you record is automatically analyzed for emotional tone. Whisper detects whether you're feeling positive, negative, or neutral, and shows you patterns over time. Watch your mood shift across days and weeks. Notice that what lifts you up and weighs you down. Okay, so this is the only thing that's technically wrong, right? We do happy, sad, or anxious. We do more, but that's just kind of a more accurate way, right? Because our mood ratings are not happy, sad, or neutral. And the feature's designed for real life. Your voice transcription happens in real time using Apple speech framework. So your, let's see, we don't need this part necessarily. So real time, so your words appear as you speak, which is also not true, right? We do a transcription afterwards. So I'm going to get rid of that just because it's not technically accurate. And then your daily streak counter keeps you motivated. Gentle reminders help you stay consistent. Mood analytics, we don't have that yet. Give you insights, and everything syncs privately through iCloud, so your thoughts are yours alone. Everything stays on your device. Whisper never sends your journal entries to external servers. Everything stays on your device unless you choose to sync with iCloud accounts. Nope, we don't do that yet. No ads, no tracking, no data collection. Your reflection belongs to you, period. Right? So I'm going to remove this just so we don't back ourselves against a wall with analytics, because we're going to want analytics in this eventually. And that is technically data collection. So, okay, start building the habit today. Perfect. Okay, so we've got that. Description's out of the way. Now we need our keywords. The keywords are one of the most important parts of this page because this is how we're going to be ranking in search for the App Store. So I've taken the keywords that these have suggested and I've put them in Astro. Astro is an App Store optimization keyword tracking tool. And you can see how keywords rank. So you would add your apps to this page once it was live. But since it's not, I just wanted to see how the keywords are doing. So we want to look for popularity keywords that are about here or higher, ideally with a difficulty about this range, 61, 52, about medium difficulty, so we have a higher chance of ranking. Obviously, keywords are really tricky, and so I'm going to pick a few of these that rank or are pretty popular but aren't impossible to rank for. So gratitude is a great one. Mindfulness seems pretty decent. Audio, diary, emotion is definitely one of those sweet spot words. Like that's kind of what we're looking for this. So I'm going to take some of these and bring them over to App Store Connect. So we want, let's see, AI journal, which we've got in the title. So we don't need to repeat that in our keywords. Then we need emotion, journaling. We want gratitude and anxiety relief. So let's see, emotion, journaling, gratitude, anxiety relief. What is next? We want to do mood tracker. We want therapy is a good one, right? We're not claiming to be a therapy app, but people that are looking for therapy apps could benefit from a journal. So this is one thing about keywords, right? You might think, why don't I just throw in keywords that are doing really well, regardless of what they are? And it's because those are going to be low intent keywords, right? If someone's searching for AI homework helper and our app is ranking for that for some reason, they're probably not going to download our app anyway, because that's not what they're looking for. So we want to do high intent keywords where people are searching for stuff related to what our app actually does, so that if we are our top result, then they're going to want to download it because it's the solution they're looking for. Let's put mindfulness in there, and then we can do mental health journal. Let's see, copy selected keywords, paste that in there. Must be less than 100 characters. Okay, I'll just do mental health, and we'll call that good for our keywords. For the support and marketing URLs, you're going to want definitely a support URL. What I recommend is using AI to create a website for you, just like a quick landing page. You can host it on Netify, and you can just pay for a domain. Just find one related to your for relatively cheap on something like Namecheap. And then you can use Cursor or Claude Code or Codex to build out that website, right? And then make sure there is a support endpoint. And that's what I would do for this. So for now, I'm just going to I'll leave that for now, but that is something that you will need to do, is get a support URL. You need to add your in-app purchases and subscriptions. So make sure these are added. There's an add button. I added them already, but that's really simple. Okay. And then for app review information, we do not need sign in for this app. If you do need sign in, you have to give them a test username and login. So I would create that in your app and test that thoroughly, because that's what app review is going to be using. So make sure that account at least works really well. But we don't need that. Then fill out your contact information. I'm not going to do that on camera, but it's just first name, last name, phone number, email, so that if they have direct questions and need to get a hold of you, they can. And then attachments, this is optional. You don't need something like that right here. And then you can pick whether or not to automatically release or manual release, or set a date and time to release. So that's it for the main page that we need. So we're going to save, and then we need to fill out our app information. You want to set up content rights information. No, this does not contain or show access to third-party content. We need to do our age ratings, parental settings or tools. Say we don't have parental controls in our app. No, 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 and no. We don't have any of these. Medical or treatment information, none. Health or content that provides self-care, lifestyle. We aren't giving tips on mental health at all. So we are away from that. We don't have any of this. None of this. Just go through and read these carefully and make sure none of them apply to your app. Saying yes is not going to get you rejected necessarily. Apple is very transparent about how your app's data is handled, what kind of app it is, and all this stuff. And so it's really important that you are honest about that, and don't worry about getting rejected. They just need to know this stuff. Of course, there are apps that are not going to approve, but that's what the App Store guidelines are for. Okay, encryption documentation. We're not doing any sort of special encryption, so we don't need to upload special documentation. We're not a game, so we don't need that. We don't have remote notifications, so we also don't need that. So we are going to go ahead and hit save. We've got that good to go. Let's go back and check on our build. Let's see, done. We're going to distribute. That was the error message from last time. Let's get that sent up so we can add it to our project. Now, while that's going, just to walk you through everything else that is an option to you here. App review. So when an app comes back, if your app does get rejected, this is where you can find comments and you can submit an appeal if you need to. This is the history. Privacy policy is something we need to do. So no, we do not collect data. Did not collect it. You will need a privacy policy URL. So that's also what your domain is going to be for when you have AI create that. Just have a .privacy or a /privacy endpoint and have AI help you write a privacy policy. Obviously read it, review it, and make sure it makes sense for your app. But you can ask ChatGPT, hey, help me write a privacy policy for my app. Give it all the details about your app, what it's doing, how it handles data, that kind of stuff. It will prompt it to ask you questions so the privacy policy is accurate, and then put that on your website and you'll add the URL there. So we're going to publish that. All this stuff needs to be saved and published. The rest, I think we do not need. So see, that was successful. Perfect. Uploaded to Apple, which is great. So now we need to go to prepare for submission and build. This is where we will upload the build when it is ready. It does take a minute to actually appear, but when it's there, we'll add that and I'll show you that in just a minute. You know it has been uploaded when this add build button appears. We're going to add build. Done. And then manage missing compliance. We don't have any need for encryption documentation for this app. So we hit save. We see it grabbed our app icon, save that, and we'll see that appear there. Now we would be good to submit. Don't forget your important URLs that are required. Oh, we do need a copyright. So this is going to be 2025 image. Put my name in there for copyright. Save that. I'll hit add for review. And this is going to tell me we need this. So we need the support URL, like I said, the privacy URL, primary category for the app. I did forget that. So let's go do that really quickly. That is going to be, let's see, we are going to do a health and fitness app because it's like mental health, and then lifestyle. You can do research and play around with what's important there. That was just kind of my instinct on what to add for the category. Submit for review one more time, just to make sure. Pricing is the next thing that we needed. Pricing. Our app is free, but it has obviously subscriptions, availability. We're going to make it available everywhere. Okay, so that's good to go. Pricing is now set up. Prepare for submission, add for review. Cool. Yeah, just those URLs. So get those handled in there and then submit, and then that's it. You've successfully used AI to build an iOS app in 14 days and submit it to the App Store. Pretty simple. This is the quick version of it, but that's really all you need to do. It's just that easy. And this is just one of many iterations, right? Now you now have the skills and equipment that you need in order to successfully build and submit iOS apps to the App Store. In tomorrow's video, we are going to be covering different marketing tactics so you as an indie developer can have different ways to market and distribute your app, even on a $0 budget. And so be looking for that. Get subscribed to see that video coming soon. Leave a like and comment below. Let me know what you're building, what questions you have about the submission process and building an app in general. If you want more detailed break in the full app launch roadmap inside my community App Launch Club, I've got the full roadmap in the classroom taking you from idea to app launch in just 14 days, like I've done in this series, with detailed breakdowns, exact prompts, and specific things that I use to build apps in just 14 days. Check that out, get your app shipped, and be on your way to becoming a full-time indie developer. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.